So today, guys, we're going to be talking about this Void build I have been using recently. Oh my god, I might have found something that may be slightly better at ad clearing than Strand. Now, I still think Strand has a lot more viability in the endgame. Personal preference and desires for the endgame with this build will depend on the player, so I'll check this out in Nightfalls, Master Nightfalls, whatever. However, I definitely understand why this probably won't be the best setup in those circumstances, but hey, if you want to focus on ad clearing, I got a build for you. And for you Warlocks with Starfire Protocol, I have something that rivals your grenade throws. It's really good. Maybe not the greatest compared to that because you guys are just insane with that, but this is something of a Wish.com version of that for Titans, and it is amazing. Armamentarium is going to be included, an exotic I always loved, but I understand why it gets so much hate and it's kind of useless. But today, we're making it useful, something I want to do. Make this exotic useful, and I feel like I have. Before we jump into the loadout, let's first talk about the dim link in the comment section or description. Anytime you guys want this build, just hit that dim link, copy things over. We'll go over everything and explain everything. Obviously, with certain mods, you could change things as you wish, but you'll be seeing that it's kind of important for certain mods like siphons, surges, other stuff to kind of be there because you want the most out of this build for ad clearing. Now, with that out the way, let's jump into the build. So before we continue, appreciate the drip. I love the drip. I just want recognition for the drip. I feel like I made something work. And Armamentarium is honestly one of my favorite looking exotics out there. I don't know why. This has always been a fan favorite of mine. And it just looks beautiful. Just appreciate it. Now, statistically, as you can tell, I have 84 resilience. That may be a little bit of a red flag because I'm getting 24% damage reduction instead of 30. And as you can tell, we took in a couple knocks in certain categories because of our fragments, but trust me, it's worth it. And as a Titan with some of the stuff with Void, you can honestly get away with some of the, I guess you could say, reduced stats in certain categories. So before we talk about armor and loadouts, let's talk about the Void subclass and what I have specifically. Now, Vortex Grenade is the main grenade of choice. This is a grenade I recommend you use. It is my favorite grenade. I think it's by far the best grenade. I think it even got a buff, which is great. Crazy. Bungie, I don't know why, but thank you for making something good of a Titan. Now for aspects, guys, I don't know how to say this. Offensive bulk ward? Work? What? I'm partially stupid, I feel like, so I can't pronunciate words sometimes, and there you go. But the reason why this is important is that since we're using Ward of Dawn, which, yeah, guys, we're using Ward of Dawn. It's really good for this build and kind of essential for surviving and being something of ad clearing. We get something with Ward of Dawn that the other aspect doesn't offer. So while you have an overshield or are inside Ward of Dawn, your grenade charges significantly faster. Now, this is the most important part of this aspect for what we're going for with grenades. The goal is to just throw grenades like Lord Shaxx is yelling in our ear. And you will be throwing tons of grenades and benefiting from those grenades. Now, besides that, controlled demolition is an aspect you guys should have on. Hitting a target with the avoid ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target causes them to explode. Grants you and your nearby allies health when volatile targets explode near you. This is something that's going to add to the survivability of this build. And as you'll be seeing in the gameplay, I got a little sneak peek of, is insane. You're just causing explosions. You're just making it rain, and it's wonderful. Now, for fragments, Echo of Harvest, when we defeat weakened targets with precision final blows, we create orbs of power and a void breach. These are essential, especially void breaches, because you'll see later, this is kind of the whole Devour part of the build, which, if you guys don't know, Devour has great stuff with grenades. Now, Echo of Instability, defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. Again, causes explosions, more damage, more kills, more grenades. It works a ton. Now, onto the third one, Echo of Persistence. Void buffs apply to you have increased duration. Specifically for our Devourer is the main staple of this little benefit, as well as the Overshield if you guys benefit from it. And then we got Echo of Starvation. Picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power grants Devour. Now, this is essential for getting your grenade as often as you can and spamming it as often as you can. You take the stat penalty of, minus 10 recovery, but as you guys look here, Devour, when you feast on the energy of your defeated foes, final blows restore you to your full health, grant grenade energy, and extend Devour. You guys will be having Devour constantly as long as you're creating orbs and void breaches. But void breaches is a little bit new. It's like the new subclass thing to pick up. Now, a dimensional rupture teaming with void energy. When picked up, void breaches grant class ability energy. So this helps with the shields. This helps with all that stuff. It's amazing. Now, loadout, somewhat important. We're using Huckleberry, somewhat of a kinetic exotic. I mean, maybe I could use Austria's Trigger, but at the same time, I've been using that way too much for the first time ever. So Huckleberry is a fun little, thing I've been using. Pretty good. The only caveat, for some reason, it doesn't have overload rounds. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe there's a bug. Someone could drop a comment down below and tell me what's going on there, but it still works out. Now, Deafening Whisper is a Season of the Hunt Waveframe legendary grenade launcher, so not everyone will have this depending on when you started playing. So if you want a Void Waveframe that is somewhat attainable this season, Harsh Language is a good alternative. It's a Waveframe, golden tricorn stats for all. I don't know if it rolls with auto-loading holster. I assume it does. So as long as you get that, you will probably be using this just as good as I am. And Waveframe Voids are awesome with this build, and just awesome with Void collectively. And then we're using Retrofit Escapade. This is a gun most of you guys probably already have ranked up. I was late to the bandwagon. Don't know why, because this shit is insane. Especially with this build, you'll be seeing just me shooting everything blowing up. It's an ad clear lord's dream to have this weapon equipped, and I don't know if I can ever put it down. Now, for the second half of this explanation, we'll be talking about mods a little bit. Now, I will admit some of the time dilation mods like Font of Wisdom, the blue mods, I'm still feeling out. They feel great. I don't know the statistical benefits of it. I haven't seen anything posted on Twitter or on the internet about this, but so far I like these blue mods over the yellow mods because I don't want to use my charges. I like the benefits of some of the increased resistance, increased intellect, increased discipline, even though I don't know if it extends past 100. If it does, it's great. If it doesn't, then someone let me know down below and we'll make adjustments to this build. But Font of Wisdom, Kinetic Siphon, and Void Siphon are really important to this build. Creating orbs and benefiting from armor charges, like for your Ward of Dawn in this case, is amazing. Now, for our arms, Firepower is basically creating orbs of power with grenade final blows. Now, I stacked them because honestly, I didn't really know. I didn't what else to do. Maybe I could have, I don't know. I really do not know. I just double stack it, and then we're using Font to Focus. Now, if these have a significant benefit, I guess I can tell. I'm not sure, but doesn't hurt to try it out. Now, we have Armamentarium. This is the exotic I recommend you guys use. I know there's Severance and Closure for finishers and explosions, but how many times are we going to do a finisher and think that's effective at being ad clear compared to this build? You guys can make that determination for yourself, but even though Severance and Closure looks pretty cool with the explosions and some of the other fragments, I like Armamentarium for grenades and just getting volatile rounds as often as possible. We're using Charge Up to increase our stacks for armor charges, Font of Endurance to increase our resilience stat when we have armor charges, and Void Reserves to just increase the amount of ammo I have with my Void weapons. And then for legs, Kinetic Weapon Surge and Void Weapon Surge just to increase some damage benefits, while Armor Charge and Stacks on Stacks. The reason why Stacks on Stacks I think is amazing in this case is that when you're using Armor Charge for time reasons, you get 1 Orb of Power to get 2, and if you have time dilation like as we have in the Titan Mark and Font of Restoration, these benefits will be 15 seconds each per stack. You get 4 stacks, you get, I believe that's 60 seconds, which is a whole minute. Yeah, that's how math works in time. That is essential in my opinion. And with the amount of orbs we're creating, the amount of Devours we're using, and Void Breaches, it's a constant stack, especially if you're playing Defiant Battlegrounds, as you've been seeing. Now, I just realized I forgot something important. My seasonal artifact, or things like that. Now, these things here with some of the mods are cool. Volatile Flow, picking up an Orb of Power, grants you Void weapons and volatile rounds. I can't believe I forgot all of this stuff. Came back, probably, re-edited, whatever. So you guys would never know. I mean, now you know. And Shatter Orbs. The first time you break a combatant's shield, you create an Orb of Power if you break the shield with the matching damage type. Those two are great synergy Void weapons. Now, on top of that, Void weapon channeling, you gain temporary bonus to Void weapon damage after you defeat a target with a Void weapon while at least one of your Void abilities is fully charged. This damage bonus increases based on the number of fully charged Void abilities you have. Now, in retrospect, we'll just have the reserve of class ability or a shield being always there, so we should benefit from this. I don't know the exact benefit numbers of this, but anything to increase our power, you guys will see, is incredible. Now, let's officially jump into the gameplay. So, in the game, here, we're just ad clearing, we're causing mayhem, we are controlling the room. No matter how hectic things are, especially in Defiant Battlegrounds, you will be ambushing the ambush in certain battlegrounds. You will be handling the Taken, the Cabal with ease. This build is great at ad clear. Gives you more grenades, gives you more devour, gives you more grenades, gives you more explosions, orbs of power, shields. It just stacks wonderfully well. This is honestly one of the most fun times I've had using Void in some time. I feel like the most fun I had was when it first dropped, and then after that I kind of just let that is. But this build built on devour, grenades, volatile rounds, this season, at least in Season of Defiance, is absolutely stellar. If you guys are watching this video and it's not Season of Defiance, and some of the stuff with the seasonal artifact may have changed, and this build may have been updated, so that's that. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this build. Is it wild? Is it whatever? Again, caveat, I have not used this in the endgame, but in basic playlists, this should be a very insane build to have, especially if you're running, for example, or farming Defiant Battlegrounds. You guys will be cruising through them, no problem, one-man army in most cases, because sometimes you can't trust those blueberries. Sometimes you can't trust them. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below on this build. If you guys enjoyed this video, found this video informative, definitely drop this video a like, helps the video a ton. And if you guys are new here and want more content from me, definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I drop more content. But till then, hope you guys have a good one. Shine Energy here, and I'm out.